name comes up on the stream. Okay. Oh, we're out of Weetabix. Uncle's gone to the store to get some Weetabix. First chest contains +5 arrows. That increases their maximum arrow count by 5, but it doesn't actually give them any arrows. I thought that it did, but that must have been in an older version. A lot of kinks were worked out. Probably most likely so that if you got a bomb expansion in the escape, it wouldn't give you access to the 3 items on the side room. So for anybody who's not seen an NMG run of this game, it all starts out kind of similar. You pick up that bush and go down into the well. Actually, in an NMG run, you wouldn't even check the chest in Link's house, so it's already a little different. Yep, so they're playing the same seed, so, you know, for instance, Jetabb is coming up. Jetabb BB, I guess, that's how he broke up his file name. So, I'll just call him Jet. Jet opens the chest inside the well and gets a single rupee, so Mike the V also gets a single rupee there. For the secret passage. I guess it's not a well. There is a well in Kakariko Village with items in it. Oh, Mike the V having a little bit of trouble with that green guard. So, Jet up a little bit. Head a little bit here. Just like I said, Mike is seated a little higher in his group, but I think that since Link to the Past Randomizer is only recently caught on, there's not a whole lot of records to go by on the seeding, so even seeds that are, you know, 2 or 3 places apart could be really close. Alright, so that's a key in that chest that's going to be required to go through. So that means that one of the chests in the dark rooms will have an item in it. Of course, that item could be the map. And so, just real quick, I wanted to give a thanks to Fiesel for the SNES Marathon that was last week. That was really cool. Feel kind of bad for him, probably lost a lot of sleep like for the whole week, but now we're throwing this tournament at him, so he's a really cool guy. And mythical too, of course. Alright, we got the map inside the chest there. That means that there will be randomized items in every other chest in the escape, as there's no compass in this place. Best item. I mean, you know, I usually just call it it looks kind of like an egg roll. Let's see what kind of ball and chain guy strats we got here. Oh, Mike opting to go straight in for the sword attacks, get some corner, that's pretty fast. Jet going for the single pot strat. Another arrow expansion. You know about that. So Mike the V with his slightly faster strat on the ball and chain guy does take the lead here. But there is plenty of race to go. Up to 2 hours or so left, but depending on the speed of the seed, runs can vary really from an hour and a half to a little over 2 hours long, even for top runners. So a lot of it's going to depend on, you know, if they get items that unlock new areas early on, and if they get items that make them go faster, like Pegasus Boots or the Flute or Ocarina for the Japanese version. In the American version, it's actually called the Flute. Forgive me if I call it the Flute. So Mike the V is ahead by about half a room. And Mike the V getting the arrow drops off of the guards. Alright, so coming up in the dark rooms, there's going to be a chest, and then another chest that would normally have a key, but since they already have the key... Or there's no chest in this room, I'm wrong. So this chest coming up would normally have a key, but since they've already gotten that key in the basement, it'll have an item. Right after the snake room. We got some bomb drops off of the sewer monsters, so... Wait. Chest. At any rate, the bombs that Mike has now, and that I assume Jed is about to pick up, those will give them access to 3 more items in the escape. If they didn't get Pegasus boots or bombs at the... Oh, that was Bugnet. Oh. So the Bugnet was in the chest. Hopefully Jet will get a bomb, because if he doesn't get a bomb drop, he won't be able to come back into the sewer until he gets gloves. Well, fortunately for him. Fortunately for Jet, the side room only had 2 pieces of heart and a 20 rupee. He will probably come back and check him eventually once he finds gloves, so... He actually saves him time now, but he'll lose time over it later on. Alright, Mike DeV not going for the tech skip on Zelda, but the developers have programmed it out anyway, so... No matter. Mike DeV just about 6 minutes coming up on the Chancellor, and gets a heart container out of the heart container chest. So there are 2 different kinds of heart containers. There's the one heart container that's normally in the sanctuary heart. Oh, Jet did end up getting bombs and going in there and finding the garbage. So normally there would be a heart container in that chest, and we call that the sank heart or sanctuary heart. Now, bosses also drop a heart container, and those are shuffled in. So any item location can be the sanctuary heart or one of the 10 boss heart containers that drop. The difference is, if it's the sanctuary heart, it'll refill your health when you pick it up. So we don't actually know which heart container that was, because both runners have full health as they're picking it up. Mike probably did get the net. I mean, there's no reason for him not to open the chest. Oh, I guess might not have been updated on the tracker. We didn't really see it right away on his item list, though. Another heart container, because he already had the bombs equipped. Whereas Jet, the net was the first item that he picked up, so. Right. So Mike went into forest on the north side, so I'm guessing that he checked the lumberjack item. Did not catch what it was. But it looks like Jet's about to check it anyway, so we'll see what it is. Mike, plenty of bombs to check all the items in the village. There are 4 items in the village that require the bombs. There's this one in Blind's hut. Mike did not check the lumberjack item. I didn't see what it was. So this item here in Blind's hut is 1. There's 1 inside the well that requires a bomb. That's actually 2 chests, I think. There's the one in the chicken hut, and there's the one in the race game. Now you can check the item in the race game without a bomb, but you need a bomb in order to actually get it. Bomb or Pegasus boots. Alright, bombs was the lumberjack item. So as far as now, Agahnim may not be required, but there are other circumstances where Agahnim may be required. Either if there's a key item on the pyramid, Agahnim could be required, or it's also possible that Agahnim is required if no other way into the Dark World. Normally to get into the Dark World you would either need the Gold Glove, or you would need Grey Glove and Hammer. Any of the portals would require, one of those combinations. But obviously you can get there just the normal NMG way by fighting Agahnim. And of course you need the Moon Pearl. So, one of the 3 situations that would require Agahnim is a negative. The downside of fighting Agahnim, aside from the obvious of losing time, is it makes the overworld considerably more difficult because tougher enemies spawn. Alright, Mike the V, finding the single arrow in the chicken hut. So if you want to do a little fun meme race of Randomizer, just do first person to find a single arrow wins. But we actually have to go into the Triforce room. Alright, there is one item on this screen that Mike will not be able to check, and that is the sick kid. You need a bottle to get his item. Mike opting not to check the race item and the library right away. He'll probably head right down the swamp. That's the largest concentration of items that he has available to him now. And we'll see what strategy Jet goes for. He might want to do a little more scouting. There are quite a few screen transitions between the north side of Kakariko and the 2 items that you can check on the south side. Mike the V grabbing the chest before draining the water. I personally like to drain the water first. Well, the advantage of checking the chest first is if the chest is boots, you save a little bit of time. But I like to drain the water first. That way I don't have to react immediately after leaving the swamp. Because I'm always going out and back in. And then I can think about whether I want to go out of my way. I guess you have plenty of time anyway. He will pick up that 20 rupees. He's thinking he might have to pay the 500 rupees for Zora item. Mike has already been to Kakariko Village, but he did not check the library or the race game. He left as soon as he picked up the item in the tavern. Alright, one thing, so there are 5 items in this cave, including one that the thief NPC gives you, and Jet is going to go check Kakariko South. There are 2 other items around this area that he could check after this cave. Check Ice Cave, where the ice rod normally would be. Okay, and library is the hammer. Oh, really good scout from Jet. That's very crucial information that Mike does not have at this point. Oh, silver arrows already. Now he just needs a bow. And Jet's going to check the race game. He's going to go grab the race item without checking first. Alright, so Mike the V looks like he's either going to be heading over to the ice cave or possibly performing a fake flippers. Doing a fake flippers would give him access to the Zora item if he's got the rupees, and would give him access to the hobo item early on. However, it's never required in this category. Oh my goodness, Jet with a bow. That Mike gave up on Kakariko too early. Hopefully for his sake he'll go back relatively soon, but wow, that is huge info that Jet has. Not only does he know where the hammer is, he'll have to come back for it because he needs to get the library item, but Jet also has the bow, which means he'll be able to finish Eastern Palace. And once one of the players brings the map up, we'll see whether or not Eastern Palace is a crystal. Alright, Mike's walking back down here. It looks like he's going to do fake flippers and check the hobo item. Again, not required. Oh, not even doing the easy buffered setup, so he obviously has experience doing that. He should also head over to the west and check the island item. Yeah, looks like he's doing that. That's a piece of heart, doesn't need that. So he's going to get the item from the hobo under the bridge, which again would not be required, but if it's a nice progression item that he can get early on, that might help him close the gap over Jet. So Mike has checked more locations, so he's kind of ahead in that sense, but Jet has more important progression items than Mike has. So I would give the advantage to Jet currently. 50 rupees from the hobo. The only way he can get out of this spot without flippers is to save and quit, so he's going to do that. And he'll probably go ahead and check Sahasrara. Check Sahasrara's hut in Eastern Palace. He won't be able to finish Eastern Palace, but he'll be able to check all the chests. Fortunately for Jet, if he decides to head over to Eastern Palace, he will be able to finish. I suppose Jet got the silver arrows, but I didn't see. It's just, I noticed that the tracker has changed slightly also from the exhibition race. In the exhibition race, the silver arrows was a separate slot, but this is actually really cool the way the tracker's set up now. You can see that Mike the V has silver arrows, but not a bow, and it's all in the same square. I think they did that to make room for the Agahnim block, And we do have mirror inside Sahasraral's hut, so that's a really good item. It doesn't. It's one of the most important items in the game, but it's not important quite this early. And Mike the V looks like he will be heading over to the race game, so he will be getting the bow before heading to Eastern Palace. So that's good for him, but did lose a little bit of time by going to Sahasraral's hut before having the bow. Okay, so he's gonna go ahead and find the hammer in the library real quick. While Jetabb will soon be checking Sahasraral's hut and probably going to clear out Eastern Palace. Alright, Mike the V gonna check first, sees that it's the bow, and books it over to the house. So right now, the largest concentration of items either runner could find, I would say, would be Eastern Palace. Eastern Palace itself has 3 items, and did not see if it was a crystal. If it's a crystal, it's also required anyway, so it's a really good idea to head there now. The only other item that would be accessible that I could think of is the witch's hut, since they did find the mushroom. Each of the runners has the mushroom, which don't actually see the mushroom on the tracker. So yeah. Anyway, it's not on the tracker right now, but both of the runners do have the mushroom, and that is one item location that they'll be able to check shortly. Mike opting to use his less laggy wooden arrows. They'll do less damage, but could save time overall on lag frames. The nice thing is that the silver arrows, while they lag the game, they do fly faster, and they will kill the red Igors and Armos Knights each in one hit. So that's a plus side. Oop. Alright, so Jet is slightly ahead of Mike, since Mike took the detours early on. Okay, and that is the all-important Moon Pearl. So with the Moon Pearl now, really none of the runners will be able to do anything until they find a glove. So I would guess that the glove would either have to be right here in Eastern Palace or possibly at the Witch's Hut. And they do know where the hammer is, so if they find the glove, if they find the gray glove, they pretty much will have to find boots in order to get to the Dark World without fighting Agahnim. Could be an Agahnim required seed. Still a possibility it could be a gray glove, or I mean, heck, it might even be required to go fight Agahnim and then get some items out of Palace of Darkness. That would be really interesting. Alright, fortunately finding the big key here means that they can check the big chest right away. They do also have the option, I don't think they found the map yet, so there's 2 items left. There's the chest that's normally the big key, which is kind of out of the way, and then there's the item that the boss drops, and it's 50-50 which one's the map. I would probably, myself, would go and fight Armos, and hope that I don't get the map of Armos. But these runners have opted to get all the chests before finishing the dungeon. So a randomizer is this is just a link to the past. There are a few differences in glitches that were fixed and random elements that were changed. Oh, and map was in key chest, so that was a little detour that didn't pay off. So Link to the Past Randomizer is the same as the base game, except all the items are mixed up. So all of the chests and all of the pieces of heart have been switched among each other, and all the heart containers. So even the bosses can drop a random item. So what these runners are doing is they're trying to beat the game as fast as possible by finding all the required items in random locations. So, okay. Oh, looks like Mike just passed Jet in that room. There is a nice little consistent strat to get through that room with the 2 bubbles, but Jetabb slipping up a little bit there. Mike the V still having his brown arrows on. May opt to switch to silver arrows for the boss, but we'll see. He might not even remember that he's got them. Oh, fairy dropped. He has a net, but no bottle to put it in. Alright, 50 rupees from Armos Knights, so as far as I'm concerned, the Witch's Hut is the only place left to check before fighting Agahnim. Of course, there are plenty of chests available to them once they fight Agahnim. They'll be able to get a few items into Palace of Darkness, but the randomizer logic is set such that it'll never require them to go through the dark rooms without a lantern. But there are a number of chests within Palace of Darkness that they can get without going through dark rooms. So, could be something on the ledge on the pyramid. Could be something. Oh, there's also there also is a Gina's cave in the desert, and that's where Jet is heading right now. And Mike is heading up to Witch's Hut to use his mushroom. I think it would have been optimal for him to save and quit and start at the Sanctuary, but it's pretty close between Sanctuary and Link's house, or Stoops Longshoots. Alright, so Jet also gonna check the ledge outside of Desert Palace while he's here. Oh boy, those are the dash boots. So Jet, once again, finding the key information for Mike. Unfortunately, once again, he can't actually access that item until he finds the Book of Medora, or he can also get it if he finds the flute and the Jet did not pick up the boots, but he found where they were. So Jet knows where the hammer is, and they require boots, and he knows where the boots are, and they require Book of Medora. Or possibly flute and gold glove. So Jet looks like he's heading over to the Witch's Hut now. They have boots, hammer, progression. So Jet's heading... No, Jet is... He's jumping in Lake Hylia. Okay, that's an interesting strategy. We'll see how that turns out for him. Very novel idea. When you have a tournament with this many runners, you're bound to come up with new strategies, stuff that we've never seen before. For instance, in the Super Metroid Hundo tournament, one of the runners in my group, Benko, actually kind of novelized the run with a strat that made the early game a little easier. Alright, I'm guessing Mike checked the ledge item based on how long it took him to get to Agahnim's cave. And now Mike is heading toward... I don't know. He might be checking the... Really kind of not much reason to check the lumberjack item at this point. So it looks like there's a good chance that Agahnim will be required to get into the Dark World. since we don't have any gloves yet. So there will either have to be a glove on the pyramid or something in Palace of Darkness, I guess. And yep, lumberjack item was bombs. Well, see, the reason I'm not really sure why Mike checked it, because even if he kills Agahnim, he won't be able to get that item without boots, and boots are kind of a ways off anyway. Jetabb just biting the bullet and going right into Agahnim. They'll be able to use the cape to get in there. And sometimes it's okay to go into Agahnim early. If you get the cape this early on in a seed, there's a relatively good chance that Agahnim will be required. One of the best items to have in this place is silver arrows, so that's good for them. I did a run recently where I had the gold sword, or I'm sorry, the butter sword. I had the butter sword coming into Aghanim's tower, and that was really satisfying. Yep, and it is possible to get to Zora with fake flippers, but as was stated, fake flippers will not be required in this category. So, Aghanim's tower does not have any unique items in it, so this is a good time for donations. You guys at the donation desk can read some off. The getting through the barrier in Aghanim's tower is possible with the magic cape, and is frequently, as is in this case, required. And that's been a stipulation of randomizers since really early versions. That, wow, it stinks not having a shield. He just sniped one of those tridents out of the guy's hand with an arrow. That was pretty. But it's, for a long time in randomizer history, cape to get into Aghanim's tower has been a requirement. Jet, you gotta be real careful. You should be able to farm a couple hearts in this. There's some under these pots. He's gotta be careful until he gets it. Does he know where they are? Because I don't. There's one. Another one. So, Aghanim's tower can be a little difficult on execution. It's one of those things that's difficult to do very fast. It's really dangerous to do really fast. But if Mike and Jet take their time, they should be okay. Like, oh boy, Mike's gonna have to have a good Aghanim fight. I don't think, even with Blue Tunic, I think he'll die in a single hit. But oh jeez, both runners getting up to Aghanim with a sliver of health. Okay, fortunately, blue balls have been edited out of the randomizer ROMs, so it's more consistent, being able to finish them off without getting hit. Okay. And one of the reasons the developers took the blue balls out is they wanted to remove things that they call unfair RNG. Maybe you're racing against somebody, and this actually happened in the AGDQ races January. I think it was ACM or Blunt Bunny. I think it was Blunt Bunny got through Agahnim 1 without any blue balls. For those of you who haven't watched an NMG run, Agahnim uses 3 different types of attacks. does an energy ball that you can reflect on the first attack. And the next 3 attacks, there's a 50-50 chance, and there's Gold Glove. There's a 50-50 chance you can lose time. Basically, each time you shoot something. Most times you shoot something. So Gold Glove will open up a lot of opportunities for them. Now Mike the V is going to save and quit, but since he has the mirror and killed Agahnim, he's going to start right back on the pyramid, much to his dismay. And there he goes. Jet making the same mistake, but that's okay. So he's going to go to the Light World, save and quit, and they'll both be heading over toward the Village of Outcasts. They'll be able to peek into Skullwoods, but it's probably not the optimal choice. Going into Thieves Town would be good. Oh, Jet actually going to head over to Palace of Darkness, I guess. He doesn't have Hookshot. He doesn't have Flippers or Hammer. Yeah, I think he was just walking around thinking of where he could go next, but anytime you get the Gold Glove and Moon Pearl, heading over to this portal north of Kakariko Village is really good. As far as the save and quit mechanics in the Dark World go, if it's a little confusing, I'll try to explain it. If normally in the game, in the normal Link to the Past game, if you're in the Dark World and you save and quit, you start off at the top of the pyramid, like right after you kill Agahnim. And if you save and quit in the Light World, then you get the choice between starting at Link's house, the Sanctuary, or the Mountain Cave, provided that you've unlocked those locations. Now, in the randomizer, they found that it was possible to soft lock the game. Okay, Jetabb heading up to Death Mountain. It's possible to soft lock the game. If you don't have the mirror, you can't get back into the Light World. So, if you don't have the mirror, or if you haven't yet killed Agahnim, then when you save and quit, you'll start in the Light World either way. Yep. So, for those of you just tuning in, Hammer was revealed to be... Oh, Butter Sword for Mike the V, by the way. I wanted to mention that. And he's going to go ahead and get the Lumberjack item. Or the Breadsmith item. 2 dwarf brothers just hammer on their bread all day. And Old Man gives a bottle for Jet. You know, it would be really troll if that bottle unlocks the Book of Medora at the sick kid in the village. I would love that. I would just straight up say that this is a plando or planned randomizer if that's the case. Yep, abandoned shed in Village of Outcasts. Normally where you would get a red boomerang in an all chests 100% run. All right, so we got our first look at the map here. We have the green pendant in Mire, blue pendant in Steve's Town, and the red pendant in Palace of Darkness. Didn't see which numbered crystals there were. Getting crystals 5 and 6 will unlock 2 items in the Fat Fairy's Cave. But and of course, all 7 crystals are required to progress. So lots of time can be spent going into Misery Mire. So fortunately, it's a pendant, but it's also a little bit of a tease that it's a green pendant because the green pendant will unlock an item at Sahasrara. And if you are really hoping for a nice long run, we can also hope that the Book of Medora is at the Master Sword pedestal, which would require all the pendants so that they can get boots, so that they can get Hammer. Actually, would that be possible? It would not, actually, because they would need the Hammer to get through Palace of Darkness. So, bad for that. And Jet finds the shovel in the Dark Mountain and uses it to find a piece of heart. So it looks like Mike the V's routing has paid off a little bit more at this point. Neither runner having a crystal quite yet, so... Or no, they each have the crystal from Eastern Palace. Mike the V grabbing Quake from Gary. I decided that guy's name is Gary, the thief that opens the purple chest for you. So Gary gets some Quake, and Quake may or may not be required based on pendant RNG. So normally in a vanilla run, and there's the Grey Glove. Well, so my dream seed with him having the book is not here. He's got the Grey Glove, which is absolutely worthless. So they've already got the Gold Glove. Worse than finding single arrow. Alright, Mike going into the Swamp Hype Cave. Gets a couple of expansions for his ammo. Jet taking a look at the map here. Now, even though Stevestown is a blue pendant, there are 4 items in there. So it might not be that bad an idea to go in there. Now, without having the hammer quite yet, it might lock them out from getting the big chest. So they might not want to go in there until they find hammer. But I mean, hey, what if Flute and Book of Medora are in there, huh? That would be kind of funny, kind of troll, kind of Plando-ish, kind of Wiz-Roby. And Jet does opt to go into Stevestown. Again, not a required dungeon as far as crystals go, but as far as items go, we'll find out soon. Yep, so right now the runners are hoping to either find Book of Medora or the Flute, which will unlock boots for them, which will unlock hammer for them. Now Jet actually, I think, came in here with Fighter Sword, fortunately not grabbing the Butter Sword from the bombable hut. And Mike, actually, if I were Mike, I'd head straight up to Hera from here. I mean, you're already here. Hera's a crystal. Well, it's tough because it may be unfinishable without a lantern or fire rod. But at the same time, you're pretty close. You can peek in there. So it's possible that he'll be able to get everything in Hera, but it's also possible that he won't even be able to get past the first room. And Blind takes the same amount of damage no matter what you throw at her. The only difference, I suppose, would be that the upgraded swords have a wider swing radius. Alright, Jet grabbing the powder. We'll see if he checks the Mad Batter. I'm not really sure why Jet went partway into Stevestown and then try to finish. Maybe he just figured he'll want to come back when he finds hammer. So both runners a little stumped right now. Alright, Mike did not head up to Hera. Which makes sense because it's basically a 50-50 chance that he won't be able to. I mean, basically he has to hope that the big key is in the main hallway. Otherwise you can't progress through Hera at all without the lantern or fire rod. Jet gonna go check on the Mad Batter here. This guy would normally give you half magic in a vanilla run, but it's one of the items that was shuffled into the item pool. And he gets a heart container. A very much needed heart container. Oh, Mike skipped. So Mike seems to have the strategy of going to the most concentrated items, and even if there's like a couple of fringe items relatively close, he doesn't go get them. Whereas Jet gets, you know, everything in the immediate area of wherever he is. And there's a Grey Glove again. What a troll. Alright, Jet heading back into Dark World. There are a number of places that, you know, have a chance of having something. Some of the better paths I guess you could take would be... there's 3 items. Oh, they don't have boots, so they can't get into the Cape Grave. But there's the Cape Cave and the Graveyard Ledge if he goes north from Village of Outcasts. And then there's the Catfish, but actually, without flippers, in order to get to Catfish, they'd have to save and quit and go back to the pyramid. Which they may do. Oh, Mike just checking the tea house and getting powder. Probably wishes he had that earlier when he turned the blacksmith, but he'll probably head right over to the Mad Batter and we'll get a high 5, or we won't. Okay. Alright, we got a bomb expansion, the Cape Bumper Cave, so don't need that. Mike looks to be heading over toward the graveyard. There will be 1 item on the ledge from the check there. And if it's flippers, he can check Catfish. If not, he'll have to save and quit and rethink his plan. Okay, now Jetabb. Sitting on 1 heart. I believe there was a fairy in the bottle they got from the old man, which Jet may still have. Oh, he's not going to be able to do digging games since he has the chest with him. That's unfortunate. I don't like... Something is following you, I don't like... Yeah, that's, yikes. But he does have 2 items in this grove to check and can turn in the purple chest. He's got Old Stumpy in the Dark World Grove to the north. And he's also got the Mirror Cave here. I like to check the Mirror Cave first, that way after going to Old Stumpy... Oh, he's gonna have quite a time trying to get that, he might want to get that heart. He's gonna have quite a time. Well, he filled up his health, which is good, but hopefully he'll be able to grab the chest without entering the portal. Being real. Oh no! I've made that mistake more times than I care to admit. Oh! Vitor laying down the hardcore strats. You can lay down a bomb, so if you've got iframes, you can actually walk through the portal. Pick up the chest. That's a really good recovery tip that I did not know. Thank you, Vitor. Vitor, of course, one of the key developers of Randomizer. Alright, so miketheviewer's gonna have to hope for big key. He can get this key, but he won't be able to get the basement item without a lantern or fire rod. So the only way you can progress through here is if the big key is in the center room here. And there it is. Be able to get all the items except the one in the basement here, and there's about a, what, a 40% chance? Well, no, this would be 2. It would be 2 over 5. Jeez. No, I think it's straight up 40% chance. Okay. There's 3 items up here, including the big chest, which he can either bomb jump to if he knows the strat. Looks like he's going for the bomb jump here. Pause buffering, makes it across, no problem. Compass is in there, and he's gonna have to hope really hard that Moldorm does not drop the map. Or that Moldorm does, yes. If Moldorm drops the map, that means there's another item in the basement he won't be able to get yet. If Moldorm drops an item, then that would be way better. Okay, so Jet actually did save and quit back to the pyramid and checking the catfish, so we'll see what he does. Oftentimes a good strategy in Randomizer is if you feel like you're behind, you go for the stuff that's out of the way, go for the stuff that you don't think your opponent would check right away. Okay, piece of heart, so Mike the V grabbing his crystal that he needs off the Tower of Hera, and will not have to come back to check the basement, since we know that the basement chest has the map. And there's a hook shot for Jet, wow. Okay, so the hook shot there's no reason for him not to go straight to Death Mountain. That hook shot off the catfish gives him access to something like 13 or 14 chests in Death Mountain. And there's Bamos, so he has info on where Bamos is. Won't be able to get it yet without flippers, but he'll know where it is once he checks the pendant requirements. He'll know if he has to come back here. Mike the V looks like he's gonna fake flippers to Zora, which is a really interesting choice. Alright, so Jet getting the tickle beam from Catfish there gives him a pretty decent advantage item-wise. He is a crystal behind. Oh, Book of Medora! Oh man, so Jet has two things on his mind right now, if I were him anyway. One is go get the, he is booking it, literally booking it straight to Desert Palace. Okay, he's getting those boots and he's getting that hammer. And then, actually, having the hammer before going to Death Mountain will mean that he'll be able to check the entrance requirement for Turtle Rock. Which is good, because if it's Bamos, I'll know where to go back from Bamos. He did not grab Quake. Where was Quake? I don't remember. Anyway, Mike's about to grab the book here, so I'm imagining Mike going straight to Desert Palace from here too. Hopefully the book will still be usable. I mean, Zora's keeping it underwater. Pages might get wet, ink will start running, but it might still be enough to get in here. Oh, Gary had Quake. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Well, see, Jet actually did just that. He checked Catfish on his way to Zora, and even though he's not able to get Bamos, he knows where it is, and he'll be able to see whether or not it's required. So that's really good intelligence. Alright, so while Jet is here, he can clear out the first part of Desert. He will not be able to finish Desert unless he finds Lantern or Fire Rod. Lantern or Fire Rod is required to progress through the final room in Desert Palace. Looks like he wants nothing to do with this place but to get those boots. So that's fine. Where's my water bottle? Alright. So, Mike the V... Oh! You know, they can't progress through Desert Palace because they don't have the boots yet. Jet is smarter than I am. Okay. So, now that Jet has the boots, now he can finish checking the south part of Desert Palace. But again, finishing will not be in the cards unless he happens to run into Lantern or Fire Rod. Alright. Mike grabbing his boots here. Jet equipping the hook shot to help him through this room. I like to unnecessarily equip hookshot in pretty much every room. Anyone who's watched me will tell you that. Alright, Jet should use the mirror here, I think, to get back to the big chest faster. But actually, I don't know. It might be about the same with having the menu and switch over. Alright, I don't know if they've found the map or compass yet. If he checks his inventory real quick and sees that he does not have the map or compass, he'll know that the last two items have to be those. And actually, now that I think about it, they've already found... Yeah, there's that piece of heart. Mike the V already equipping mirror, getting ready to go back to the big chest, so... Yeah, because they had... There was like an arrow or something in the middle room, right? So yep, Mike the V, reading his inventory carefully, knows that the last two items have to be map and compass. And Jet grabbing the items flanking the sanctuary that each require boots. So Mike the V opting to do the same. We got bombs there. And Jet doing it in... I think it's honestly faster just to save and quit and go back to Sanctuary rather than walking out, but... That's what Jet should do. He should check the pile of rocks west of the Sanctuary, and then he should head up to Death Mountain. Although you can save and quit back up to Death Mountain, so... It doesn't matter what order he checks them in. Okay, he's gonna go grab the hammer, that's right. I knew that. I knew he was going to grab the hammer. Okay, so Jet went into the Dark World. Did he finish the digging game, or did he just... I think he wants to go check the digging game and then mirror to the library. Or he wants to get the... well... Jet wrought with indecision, but really I think the clear path should be to head to Death Mountain sooner rather than later. I didn't know you could run behind the library like that. Alright, so both runners grabbing the hammer at the same time. And so, real quick, if crystal-wise, Mike has one up on Jet. Wait, doesn't he? He should... He finished Hera. Hera should have had a crystal, right? Uh-oh. Looks like we have a little tracker malfunction. But anyway, Mike the V has finished Hera already, so he's a crystal up on Jet. But Jet has the advantage with the hook shot, so I'd say that that puts him about even if Mike checks the catfish for the hook shot pretty soon. Item-wise, the only advantage Mike has right now is Quake, and neither runner has checked the pendant requirements, so we don't even know if Quake is important. And it is possible that Flute may be unnecessary because there is I believe, the green pendant in Misery Mire. So, for all we know, Flute could be in Ganon's tower. Still no lantern or fire rod, so both of these runners... Actually, no. Mike looks like he's headed toward Palace of Darkness. He feels good about doing his dark rooms. Again, if you don't have lantern inside Dark World dungeons, then the underground items, Link won't have his little flashlight. That makes things quite difficult, but not impossible. The randomizer will never require you to do dark rooms without the lantern. But other than the lantern, Mike has everything he would need to get through Palace of Darkness. He's got the bow, he's got the hammer. So, and it's a crystal, so he wants to go ahead and clear this place out. Alright, now Jet making his way over to Death Mountain. He's gonna hookshot across the broken bridge, where he'll find 5, 6, 7, 13, 14 items. 14 items. 15 if the floating island is good, I think. That's a lot of items. Plus, we'll be able to check the pendant requirement of Turtle Rock if he chooses to do so. Alright, so there's still a decent number of required items. Cane of Samaria is required, and Fire Rod, and Ice Rod. All three of those are required just for Turtle Rock. And one of the medallions will be required for Turtle Rock. It could even be Ether, which we haven't seen yet. Flute may or may not be required. And Lantern would be extremely useful. Oh, we got the blue cane. Let's see how Mike's doing over here in Turtle Rock, or Turtle Palace. You know, there's more turtles. You think about this now. There are more turtles in Palace of Darkness than there are in Turtle Rock. Lag cane. Oop. Misplayed the crystal a little bit there. I don't know why Jet equips the mirror here, but okay. So there's still a bunch of items in the Dark World to check. And there's still a bunch of checking the medallion for Turtle Rock. Alright, and we have the basement room in Palace of Darkness for Mike here. Let's see what he grabs. He's looking for a chest over here. It's a heart container. Chest on the other side of the room, which has a compass. Alright, so Jet's still got 4 items in the hookshot cave and 2 items in the vertical cave here. How does Randomizer work? That's a really good question, and one of the developers, Vitor, is in the chat right now, and he'll answer all of your questions. Mike going for the bomb jump. And nice. Does not have the big key to open the chest, but it should be in this room here. Hopefully he doesn't accidentally mirror out. Alright, we got 2 chests coming up for Jet on your right here. Use the mirror disappearing block trick. Nothing there, and nothing there. Still 4 items in the hookshot cave you can check. And we'll see if he takes a peek over to Turtle Rock here. Now, interestingly enough, since Mike bomb jumped over here, if this chest in the top left corner does not have a small key, he'll know that the big chest contains a small key. Oh, I guess I missed him get it. So he's already heading over to the big chest. That other chest must have had the big key. It's the map. But not to worry, all that means is that Hamster King will have an item for him. Alright, 4 big items coming up for Jet here. Ice Rod! Required, but does not give him any kind of progression at this point. There's the flute. Really nice find. And a shield! Pretty good payoff for Death Mountain, finally. You gonna head up to... Okay, he's gonna go ahead and check Tower of Hera. It's a crystal that'll be required. We already know from Mike's stream that the basement will not be required. He can also check the ether tablet while he's over here. So yep, he's gonna mirror over by the ether tablet. Flute could be a big deal. It's not necessarily required, but it'll give him very fast movement whether or not it's required, so there's that. Oh, Jet going back into the Dark World. Maybe he stepped on that by mistake. Maybe he wants to check the Spike Cave. Maybe he wants to get the bottle on the ledge. Alright, I missed... Yeah, good luck with that, Vitor. I don't know nothing. I missed if... Did Mike finish dungeon? He had everything he needed. Maybe he thought it was too hard to... Huh. Maybe he didn't want to go through the dark rooms leading up to the boss. But Mike, I guess he's gonna check Ether. There's nothing else for him to get up here, other than the spike cave. Oh! Jet fell in a hole. That's unfortunate. Oh, he's gonna have to mirror out. I think it's an interesting choice from the developers that they give you the mirror right before this dungeon, and then they immediately put you in a situation that could possibly require the mirror to get out of a soft lock. Well, it's not a soft lock because you have mirror. I'm saying. You could also die. Alright, Jet did not check the required medallion. Alright, so Mike the V, able to use the hammer to get to the light world side of Death Mountain up top. A little bit longer than using the hook shot to get across on the bottom. And he will not be able to check most of the chests in the hookshot cave unless his hovering is on point. Hovering again could give a player an advantage, but is never required by the randomizer. And if he is able to hover, he'll find himself with a flute and an ice rod and a shield. So we'll see if he even bothers to go in there. You can check one chest in the hookshot cave just by bonking. The other ones would require either having hookshot or hovering. Oh, you can hit that switch with arrows? I thought it was required to mirror out. Jet farming up some health for the boss. Alright, let's see what kind of fight he has from Moldorm. He's got the butter sword, so... Ooh, falling in that middle hole is quite a time loss since it also makes you fall in the next two holes. Or the next... Okay, not the next two holes. But you fall down 2 floors instead of 1. Whereas if you fall off the edge, just fall down once. Really good Moldorm refight from Jet. Alright, Mike climbing up Death Mountain East. Don't know if he's gonna hover, if he's gonna check the one bonk chest, or if he's just gonna peace out. But while he's here, you might want to check the medallion requirement for Turtle Rock. As if it's Bombos, he'll know where to go to get that. Okay, he's going in. May just hover. Okay, gets the bonk chest, it's Ice Rod. And then immediately leaves. So, yikes. And now he's heading toward, I suppose, the Spike Cave. I think he already checked the Ether tablet, so there's Spike Cave. I'm a little disappointed that both of the runners had the opportunity to spy on the medallion requirement, Turtle Rock, and didn't go in. Let's see, he's got Cape and he's got a Fairy. He should have no problem here. Alright, Jet unlocking the duck here. And Mike finds a piece of heart in the spike cave. Alright, lots of choices now. Remember, Jet did peek into Thieves Town, but only went as far as getting the big key. Now that he's got Hammer, I mean, there are a couple of items for him to check up on there. Oh, did they both check the Turtle Rock requirements? I missed it, like all 4 times. Alright, I'm guessing that it was Bombos. Because Jet is getting Bombos right now. Alright, Mike possibly heading into Steve's Town now. Not a required dungeon, as far as we know, since it's got a pendant. But there are 4 items. All of which he'll be able to get. Is he checking the... or is he checking the digging game? I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe he realized he forgot a couple items. Like the digging game over here. Swamp is... was Swamp a medallion? The medallions were Meyer and Steve's Town. And I think Swamp was the other medallion. Yeah, and Meyer area does have 3 items that you can get without going into the dungeon. Ooh, quarter magic. Really nice. Quarter magic for Jet. Brought that map up again. Let's do it. Let's get a little reminder. Wait, was Turtle Rock a pendant? Ooh, red cloak. Yep, flute requires hookshot or hovering. Wait, I didn't... Right, Meyer was a pendant, and... I didn't see. We saw it earlier, but... I know that Meyer and Steve's Town were pendants. But I didn't remember what the 3rd one was. Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm just having trouble remembering stuff. This is why I write everything down while I'm running this game. Alright. Okie dokie, Jet's gonna go inside the swamp here. That's a whopping 6 items. And he has all of the item requirements. He's got mirror, he's got flippers, he's got hookshot, he's got hammer. He can explore this entire dungeon. Yep. Thanks for the shoutouts, Vitor. I probably should want to fix the tracker for the current version. I kind of want to do like a little overhaul on it and make like a better crystal layout. Right, we still need Fire Rod and Cane for Turtle Rock. And Lantern. Lantern not strictly required, but the randomizer logic won't allow him to need Lantern less. Wow, that was a way to construct a sentence. The randomizer logic will not require a dark room without lantern. However, it can be done. I like to go to Mike's RPG Center and look at maps if I'm doing dark rooms. T-Rock's a crystal, okay. Was it Skull Woods that was the third pendant? Yeah, the Turtle Rock only has one dark room, and you're just riding a platform on a track. As long as you have your sound on so you know when you step on the button, it should be pretty simple. Oh, Palace of Darkness was a pendant. That explains why Mike didn't finish it, even though Helmasaur had an item. Shank Ganon to win. Alright, Mike finishing up blind there, grabs a compass, and a blue pendant. And hey, for all we know, Fire Rod could be at the pedestal, the Master Sword pedestal. So for all we know, all of these dungeons could actually be required. Right? Think about that. Pod can be done, the East Town can be done obviously, and Mire can be done without Fire Rod. It's possible for it to require Lantern or Fire Rod, but even with just Lantern, it's definitely finishable. As long as you've got Kane Samaria. It could be an Ice Palace Burr. That is true. Ice Palace is accessible with Bombos. As long as which you can use in place of Fire Rod to get past the first room. And Mike just strolling right past that chest. He don't care. Hey, these novel strategies sure do interest me. So the room east of here I like to call the joke room. I don't know if it's ever a non-key. Since that door locks behind you, he didn't even get the chest. He's gonna be... I mean, he has one key fewer than... Well, that's not really true, because otherwise he would use the key in the Gibdo room, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Jetabb. Let's see if you grab the big key. One of the biggest mistakes that I've made, it's easy to make. If you get to this point in Swamp Palace and you don't have the big key yet because it's on the top floor, it's important to come back and check the big chest. Because it saves you from having to drain the water in the light world again. It actually saves you from having to do most of the dungeon over again. Mike the V saving quitting. I guess so you found everything that he could find without Fire Rod, since you do need Fire Rod to check the last two items. Skull Forest. Actually, Jed, I think, has the right idea coming to Swamp Palace. Oh, of course, Mike won't go to Swamp Palace without a hookshot, but may head there after this. And big key. Actually, oh, Jet might actually be routing straight back to the big chest from here, which is not too. Oh, nope, he's okay. What's he doing? He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. He says, "You know what? Maybe I ought to go back and check that big chest before I finish the boss." Mike is kicking himself shortly. Hey, he found it. Oh, big chest. Coming up big time with the red cane. Very good find from Jet. Once again, Jet being slightly ahead of the game item-wise, but still a pendant behind. Or wait. No. Wait, this. Oh, that's the green pen. Okay. On the tracker, on Mike's tracker, it says Pod Crystal 1, but that's actually the green pendant that he got from Steve's Town. So actually, Jet is easily in the lead at this point. Excuse me, blue pendant. Alright, Jet making quick work of Argus. Mike the V dispatching all three of those hot dog spiders with one dash. Expertly done. So we did say that Quake was, or rather, Bombos was required. Did Jet get Fire Rod? I missed that. Must have been in Swamp Palace. I must have been looking at the other guy when I should have been looking at the other guy. But anyway, he's got Kane of Samaria. It looks like he's good to go. It's just a dungeon rush for Jet at this point. They're frogs? They're hot dog spiders. Fire Rod and Kane of Samaria both in Swamp. That's right. Alright, so Jet's just got a E-line to all of the crystals at this point. It's looking. Oh no, there's still Lantern. So if Mike is more comfortable doing dark rooms, he could have a chance to catch up. We've already seen him do some the big dark room in Palace of Darkness. Boy, we got a race on our hands, baby. Ah, thanks, Dr. Sphinx. Let's see. Wait, that's not the right, man. There we go. There you go, make sure you give the runners a follow. Make sure you give a follow to Speed Gaming. This tournament is not even a weekend, so there is plenty of Link to the Past tournament randomizer tournament. What would a tournament randomizer be? That would be like, that'd be like you play random tournaments, I guess. It's like, I sign up for the Link to the Past tournament, but then I end up having to play Mega Man X. A tournament randomizer would be nuts. The Link to the Past randomizer tournament, less than a week old, lots of action to catch, over 90, close to 100 runners, I think, in this thing. So plenty of races to come. Alright. Oh yeah, mystery tournament, that's right. Ah, Mike the V getting the bad patterns from my least favorite hot dog. Mike the B. V. Alrighty, so fun fact, in early versions of the randomizer we found that the butter sword did not do any damage to Count Mothula. Fortunately the developers, probably Carcat, fixed it so that the butter sword actually does tempered sword damage. Alright, so with that, well, flute turns out not to be required in this seed. So Jet's got a little bit of a movement advantage, and he's got quarter magic. But Mike has technically all that he needs. And he's gonna, well, he will, because he's coming back in here. He'll find the... Did he not? He got the fire rod, right? He just has to go back to the big chest and get Kane of Samaria. Jet having a little bit of trouble against Mothula. This is a really technical fight, and I'm not going to go into details, but just know that this guy stinks. Alright. Oh, Mike does still need Bombos. That's true. Where? Did he not check the west side? Oh, did Mike have to reset the dungeon? Oh, I guess he finished before going into the west side. I'm pretty sure I just saw him kill Argus, right? Anyway, Jet finished with Count Mothula. He's gonna check the pedestal item. Whatever it is, you don't need it. Increase arrow storage. Low price. Is that a reference to... Wait. There is no increased arrow storage in Zelda 1. There are no arrows in Zelda 2. And Zelda 3 just requires the Mad Batter to increase arrow storage. In this game, you use the Wishing Well to increase arrow storage. Anyway, Jet still looking for that lantern, but since he's got Fire Rod, he'll be able to finish Desert Palace, which is going to be required. So he's going to hope to run into Lantern here. So right now, Jet is significantly ahead, having Bombos and Flute. But Mike has the advantage of being more comfortable with dark rooms, I'd imagine. I believe there is still an item for Land Mollas to drop. Zelda 3 got cancelled. A fun fact, a pet peeve of mine is when people call Zelda 2 The Legend of Zelda 2. The actual title is Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link. It's not The Legend of Zelda 2 The Adventures of Link, it's called Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link. Yeah, I'm wondering if you can get more ammo from... I was just thinking that, if you get more ammo from the Wishing Well. I think there's still an item for Land Mollas to drop here. So long ago. Yep. Silver arrows will kill these guys in one hit, but it's hard to get the timing down if you're not used to it. Jet going a couple rounds with him. 10 arrows from Mike on the Bombos tablet. He gives up and uses the butter sword, that's fine. Oh, okay, there was the map still for Landmo to drop. Zelda 2 is a great game, alright? It's the first Zelda game that I actually owned. Amazing. And it's really not that hard. People complain that it's hard, but it's like... Death Mountain was hard, but other than that... And there are some good AFK grind spots too. Alright, Mike's heading toward Iced Palace. Not having the flute, he's gonna save some quits back to Locke's house. And we have both runners entering Ice Palace simultaneously. Of course, Jet finished Desert, whereas Mike did not. So, Jet's still ahead in the Crystal game. And still ahead in the item game. But the knowledge game, Mike should know where Bombos is, so... Kinda even there. The only thing, again, Mike doesn't know where Flute is. But he doesn't need it. Yep, that is correct. The chest game in Village of Outcasts will always give the designated item on the second chest. So even if it's like 50 rupees, that just means it was 50 rupees instead of the heart piece. And then the digging game will always give the item on the 15th dig. And the way that you can tell if you're not counting is that it actually, like, the animation for him digging up the final item slows down a little bit. And then you'll see, like, him hold it up with a little fanfare. He grabs it. So Micah having a little bit smoother of an Ice Palace run here. Gets the Stalfos trick. He's got a lot of chests to check. He doesn't technically require any items, and since he's probably doesn't care about having Lantern, he's just gonna go ahead and bomb jump. He's gonna, which is kind of interesting. I think he actually checked the chest in the Mighty Ducks room. Oops! Nails the bomb jump, falls into the pit. Oops. So yeah, at this point, the only quote-unquote required item for Mike to find would be the Lantern. And we've already seen him do Dark Rooms, so he's just gonna bomb jump and do Ice Palace the super fast way. And Jet going for the bomb jump, but I got it. Going for the bomb jump, but I'm imagining he'll want to check all the chests anyway. Yep, Mike's skipping right over the Ice Golem chest. I think everyone switched Ice and Mire when they were kids. Did anybody play the Game Boy Advance version of this game? Where they just, like, mutilated Ice Palace? They're like, this dungeon's too hard, let's make it stupid. I basically just quit playing the game after that point. Alright, second try. Oh, look, we got a really smooth cotton candy fight from Mike the V. Oh, and look, it's the Lantern after all. So, that's basically Mike's advantage, was not needing the Lantern. However, if Jet just decides to finish the dungeon instead of hunt for the Lantern, well, that's silly. Oh, he's got the Roops. He's got the big key, so he can go ahead and check the big chest here. Alright, now Mike heading over. Oh, really smart routing, coming out of Ice Palace and taking the portal up here to grab Bombos. So, hopefully Jet's... He equipped Hammer, so I guess he's going straight to the boss. Which will be to his advantage, unbeknownst to him. Is he Swamp the Fairy, I guess? Whoops. He can go into the north, go upstairs and grab fairies, but I think he still has his vanilla fairy from when Old Man gave it to him. Hey, he's just gonna say forget it. He's gonna go fight Cotton Candy, and he's gonna find the Lantern, and he's gonna be really happy with that. He's got quarter magic. He can just fire rod him to death. Both runners having a little bit of trouble in this final room. Okay, so it requires 8 ice or 8 fire rod hits to break that there. Chet does have a fairy, so be okay. Oh, Mike, not having the flute, has to actually go back through Desert Palace through the front door. So that's going to be a little disadvantageous for him. Jetabb, or Jetabb BB, very relieved to see that Lantern go straight to Turtle Rock. I don't think Jet even stepped foot in Palace of Darkness, which is, I mean, I want to say it probably was a good choice for Mike to head in there, because there are so many items, and you know he felt good about doing the dark rooms, but not finding the lantern early actually kind of gave an advantage to Jet because it deterred him from going in the Palace of Darkness, which was useless. So yikes. Alright, Flute's over to the mountain. He probably want to grab a fairy or two on his way to Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock's kind of one of the cheekier dungeons in a randomizer. One of the things about Turtle Rock is it's usually so late in the seeding pool that you're not likely to find necessary items there. And most runners want to do it last anyway, because it's the closest to Ganon's tower. But it looks like it's a good chance for this to be a sub 2 hours for both runners. Yep, he's gonna go ahead and grab that fairy. Keep, please. Oh, it was the blue rang up on there. Let's see if they've randomized the peg orders. Every time I do a plando, I do the pegs in a different order just in case. Alright. Oh, look, it was Bamos after all. Alright. So, it looked like he was trying to equip the flute there, but he doesn't have it. So, Mike, while he had Desert Palace still to do, oh, he still has to finish Forests, doesn't he? Yep. Go ahead over there. So that's... I forgot about that. That's really... I mean... Having to go back and do Desert isn't too bad since it was already half done and it's short as it is. But now having to go back and do Forest. Yeah, Mike is making a little bit more speed, but Jet is ahead by the entire Forest Temple, but Mike with a little bit of execution might be able to catch up. My prediction will be that Mike will be inside of Ganon's tower right about the time Jet is heading up to the second floor. Yeah, unfortunately he doesn't have to check all the items in any of his remaining dungeons. So, Jet is in the lead. Mike has to finish up Skullwoods here and then head over to Turtle Rock, whereas Jet's already gotten a little bit into Turtle Rock. And Jet also... I mean, Mike doesn't have the flute, but it's a simple mirror, then save and quit after finishing this temple, so not too bad. Oh, a nice little fire rod dash there. Of course, Jet also has quarter magic, which could come in handy. Alright, looks like he's gonna ferry this bubble. I would probably have just waited and ferried in the... would have gotten the fairies in the pokey room while I snuck over there to grab the key. Now, one of the troll things that the randomizer can do is it can put a small key inside the big chest where the mirror shield normally is, and make it a requirement to go grab that chest. But it's not very likely. It's just something that could happen. Oh. Jet was trying to kill that pokey before spawning the anti-fairy, or the bunny maker thing, the thing that makes you a bunny. Alright. So he knows his way through Turtle Rock. And he is going to check the big chest. Actually, well, there are... No, that's a mistake. That's a straight up mistake, checking the big chest at this point. He only needs 2 keys to finish the dungeon, and he's got 2. He needs the 1 key in the rolling pin room, and then he needs the key in the laser room. So there's absolutely no reason for him to be checking this chest. He should just be heading straight toward the boss. Yep, Jet's not counting keys, yep. A little bit of a routing error sends him to the big chest. Mike seems a little more experienced. Less likely to go check that big chest, but we'll see. Looks like he also took kind of a slightly longer route through this room. He's also doing the hookshot damage prevention. That costs a little bit of time. I mean, he saves, I think, 1 heart, maybe half a heart since he's got red tunic, but it is something that's going to cost him a little bit of time. And Mike is definitely gaining some ground here. I believe the official name is Bunny Maker. No. You can, as long as you can kill Ganon, you can finish the game. So technically you can finish the game with just Master Sword. Now Ganon's easier, obviously, if you've got a stronger sword, and way easier and faster if you've got silver arrows, but I mean, Master Sword is really the only item that's absolutely required to kill Ganon. Alright. Jetabb familiar with this fight, remembering he has gold sword and each head will go down in 3 hits instead of 5. And Mike the V heading toward the little pokey and slime corridor. Really good round 2, or phase 2 of Trihex for Jetta there. Yeah, I mean, Master Sword's pretty bad. I'm actually curious. I know that they've put chests inside of the Fat Fairy's cave, but I'm curious if you can still throw in a sword and get the butter sword from Fat Fairy and silver arrows. That would be a good question for the devs here, Vitor. I'm also not sure if spins are required for Ganon. I want to say that the devs made it so you can actually hit Ganon with a regular slash with Master Sword. Okay, you cannot upgrade your sword from Fat Fairy in this. I'm told by several people. Okay, so you can throw. I think the empty bottles actually are randomized. So both of the fountains, the waifu fountain by Zora's Domain and the Fat Fairy fountain, you can throw bottles in, and in vanilla they would give you green potions. But I think they're randomized so that they can give you any kind of potion or be possibly even a fairy randomizer. You need spins with regular Master Sword for Ganon. Okay, so that's fine. It's fortunate that our runners have Butter Sword in this case. Alright, so Jet going straight to the west side of Ganon's tower, not even going to check the 2 free chests on the east side. That's his prerogative. And it looks like Mike forewent dodging the fire bars. Heart container. Mike somehow has way more heart containers. Oh man. These skeleton frogs are giving some trouble there. Honestly, at this point, sometimes it's easier just to freeze him with the hook shot since you've got it equipped anyway. I cannot tell you how many times I've fallen in that hole. There's actually a little trick where you can bonk on the left side there. I think it's a little faster. Oh, and Mike going up the rear with Trinex rather than hitting him head on. I guess that's a little faster. That's what I see the top runners do. Not sure exactly how much time it saves. Yeah, minor glitches are allowed, including erasing blocks with mirrors, fake flippers, hookshotting through moving blocks, I guess, is one. Super bunny, hovering. Major glitches like YBA and exploration glitch are absolutely banned. And even clipping into the turtle rock. Okay, so it looks like if Big Key is in here, then my prediction was correct. But if not, then Mike has caught up a little bit more than I expected, even. Oh, all right. So we've got a race here. So far, no Big Key for Jet. He's probably gonna go fight the Ice Armos now. That'll yield 4 chests, 1 in the room above him, and then 3 in the room behind him. Whoops, he grabbed the wall. I have a really awesome tutorial of Ganon's Tower, by the way. Just kidding, it's pretty awful. Alright, so looks like Mike is going for the same routing strategy as Jet was, so it's going to be purely on execution for him to catch up. And that may appear to be an extra butter sword, but that item in that chest was actually seeded to be the level 2 or level 3 sword. It will never downgrade you, so it'll show whatever sword you got there. I mean, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. It actually wouldn't even be that useful to check the tutorial since it was made in like version 4. And when Mike realized he had silvers, that's a really good question. So, do we still not have Big Key here? East side. Yo, what if it's in the 2 free chests in the cane room? He's gonna opt not to use his key there. I think he's got plenty. You only need 1 for the upstairs. 1 plus 1 you get from a mini Helmosaur. So, you know. Oh, he did get those free chests. I didn't even see him grab them. Shows what I know. Fortunately, getting the lever skip, you lose a little bit of time if you pull that lever and have bombs fall down. There was a chest in that tile room. Not sure. Oh! Fortunately, getting grabbed by Master Hand and being sent back to Final Destination. Meanwhile, Mike still has to fight Ice Armos, only to find nothing behind him. So there is an item in this tile room. Jet seems to be familiar enough with this game to know it. He might have just wanted to check the place with more chests rather than the place with fewer chests that he's close to. Actually switching up to the strats Mike was using in the early part of the game. Okay. So he's using cape to dodge a little bit. I don't even know if the cape protects you from Master Hand. So you have to actually wait for the cape to the hand guy to lead. Oh, Mike found the silver arrows finally. Uses them in the laggiest part of the game. He gets ready to mirror out. Mirror shield, mirror back. And this puts him a mere 2 or 3 rooms behind Jet. I hope you guys are holding on to the edge of the seats, or else you might fall out. I know I will. Oh, that is true. Mike opted to skip the tile room, so he's less than a full room behind Jet at this point. Oh, he missed the lamp turn. Oh no, does he have enough time? He's not feeling good about it, so he's gonna go relight the top torch. You gotta light all these torches before a single one goes out. We have to light all the torches and get through the door. Because if a torch goes out, the door will reclose. Finally grabbing the big key for Jet. And Mike is right on his heels. So, even something simple like falling the mold dorm or missing a couple of patterns on Agahnim is going to give Mike the opportunity to catch up. Taking the absolute least optimal route around those 4 chests. Okay. I also, based on the way the runners have been going so far, now he's got mirror shield, he can actually just face the shy guy and shoot straight at him. But based on what I've seen up to this point, I feel like Mike's going to be doing slightly faster strats to get through the gauntlet as well. And sure enough, he's already made it through. Alright. So only 1 room behind. We're going to get a quick little high five in this tile trap room. High five, right on the bottom of the stairs. Alright, let's see if Jet opts not to grab the fairy, which is good. I think he's sitting on 2 fairies in his bottles anyway, at least 1. Oh, Mike actually going to get the fairy and the magic refill. Well, he kind of needed the magic refill actually. So, once again, Jet having quarter magic yields him a little bit of an advantage here. Wow, really nice arrows. Really good shots on all those blue dragon knights. Let's see how he fares with land mode 2. He's gonna go ahead and try the silver arrows on land molas again. Does a lot better than he did against him in Desert Palace. Oh, very good. Very nice. Mike is actually caught up and he one-rounded Landmo. He one-rounded Landmo, but he used a lot of his magic power that he needed. And he's gonna use even more. He's gonna have to do some slow strats in the lantern room. Wow, like Mike, oh, neck and neck at this point. Neck and neck, but we got the magic advantage to Jet. So yeah, Mike's gonna go for the slower lantern strat here. But he's still ahead. Does he have enough? Oh, he had just enough. There's a magic refill down here, which we'll have to pick up too. Which will actually put Jet back in the lead slightly. Oh man! Oh no! Mike had a little bit of trouble in that room. Alright. Both of the runners have enough keys, they don't need to grab the helmet sword guy. Oh Oh man, Mike's back in the lead. Jet stops to grab a couple fairies. Mike having a little menuing woes, as does Jet. Oh man. Oh, Moldorm 2 down first for Mike, but Jet soon to follow. But he falls. And nobody remembers to open the chest, so... Oh! Jet missed the little hookshot clip there. Mike getting through the worst room in the game with relative ease. And so does Jet. Oh, this could come down to... This could come down to some Agahnim patterns here. If they get better shots to line up. Wow, 3 hits. I think probably only 2 registered, but he actually 3. Wow, Jet absolutely robbed by that energy ball. I don't know how that missed. Oh wow, that's a solid, what, 3 round from Mike? That was insanity. And there goes the bat. I never really understood why he was a bat. And there goes the duck. Oh, Jet. Alright, this is a good shot. He's like guaranteed at least 2 hits here, but he only needed 1. This is it. This is all coming down to Mike having a clean Ganon fight. Gets the BM hit. Impus says that the mark on your hands means that you're the hero chose about to work in Zelda. What did he say? That was a lot of text. Impus says that the mark on your hand means that you're the hero destined to rescue Zelda. It's funny because the mark on the hand doesn't actually appear until Ocarina of Time. I don't think it was even in any of the cartoons or comics. Your blood can resurrect me. He's already alive! Oh man, Mike the V already in the teleport phase. And with silver arrows, there's really not much that can go wrong. He even has full magic. Gets the torch glitch. Oh man. Oh jeez. Playing it a little safe there, not wanting to fall off. He could get a double hit here. Gets it. One more hit for Mike and he'll be done. And there he goes. As long as he doesn't get too excited and jump down, commentator's curse. Oh man, and Jet in the final phase against Ganon as Mike crosses the finish line. Wow, dude, good game. Mike has submitted his done in the IRC chat. I said that's redundant. It's the IRC, the SRL chat. Done. Mike the V has finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 47 seconds. Jet has finished in second place with a time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 23 seconds. A mere 13 and 23, a mere 30 seconds behind. 30 seconds. 36. I said 30 seconds because I was trying to say 36 seconds. 36 seconds behind, an amazing close race. It was a blast to commentate. Thank you for the race, guys. Make sure to give both these guys a follow. Dot runners. Yeah, please give Mike the V and Jetabb both a follow, and absolutely follow Speed Gaming. Feasible and Mythical put a lot of work into this channel to bring you these exciting races. Plenty more Link to the Past randomizer tournament to come. We're still in the first week, guys. We got hundreds of races to go still. So, let me just pop up the schedule real quick. I know we've got... I think is there an 8 o'clock match? Should have the schedule up. I don't know my Zelda lore. Yeah, sorry guys. Hold on. Alright, schedule 4. No, that's not it. Schedule, here we go. Link to the past randomizer tournament. Alright, so we just finished this race. Next race is in less than an hour. It is
No, it's right now.
Oh, it's right now, I'm told. Okay, so I'm gonna hop off of here. Thank you everybody very much and have a great night.